You come into the world not as a spiny ball bristling with defenses, but as a single drifting egg suspended in the salty cradle of the sea. Your birthplace is not a cozy nest or protective womb. Instead, you are released into the open water, one among millions of fragile eggs carried by currents scattered across the shallows. Your mother does not hover near to guard you, and your father has long since departed after releasing his contribution. There is no gentle parental care here, only numbers and chance. Your translucent sphere is tiny, smaller than a grain of sand. Yet inside you lies a program, a map that will one day build a creature of sharp spines and cautious strength. Already, the ocean is filled with danger. Hungry fish patrol, jellyfish extend their stinging arms, and filter feeders sweep through clouds of eggs. For you to survive even a single day is a triumph. But you are not helpless. Instinct whispers that drifting is the first step toward becoming something tougher. The first moments of your infancy are fragile, yet astonishing. You hatch into a larva, a delicate, transparent being shaped a bit like a tiny spacecraft, with thin arms extending from your body. You do not look anything like the sea urchin you will one day become. You are plankton, and you must drift. This is your classroom and battlefield rolled into one, where every wave is a lesson and every shadow a possible executioner. You feed on microscopic algae, capturing them with cilia that beat rhythmically along your body. These hairs push food into your mouth and keep you afloat, a little engine of survival. You grow quickly, but growth comes with constant peril. Small fish and even other larvae see you as food. To stay alive, you must be both transparent and quick, blending with the water and moving in unpredictable bursts. Unlike mammals or birds, you have no parent to shield you. Instead, you rely entirely on the instructions written in your cells. Each day, you add more calcium to your growing skeleton, slowly constructing a framework that will eventually fold inward and transform you into the round, spiky creature you are destined to be. Your fragile larval arms help you steer, but they are temporary. Already, the blueprint of metamorphosis waits inside you like a secret plan. Sometimes the currents push you into areas with few algae. Hunger gnaws at your tiny stomach, and your growth slows. Other times, you find yourself in fertile patches where food is abundant, and you feed with greedy determination. Every mouthful of algae is energy banked against the day of transformation. Each hour is survival practice. You learn, without thought, that drifting is not aimless. It is a strategy. The ocean carries you toward the shallow, rocky bottoms where your adult form will thrive. You are a small, nearly invisible traveler, preparing for the moment when you will shed this delicate disguise and reveal the first hint of spines. The day comes when you undergo the astonishing process of metamorphosis. You sink from the open water and settle onto the rocky seabed. Your larval body reshapes itself, dissolving old structures and building new ones. The graceful arms disappear, and in their place emerge stubby spines, tube feet tipped with suction cups, and a round, armored body. You are now a juvenile sea urchin, and everything changes. Your first meal in this new form is not a chase after darting prey. You are no predator. Instead, you are a grazer, a farmer of stone. Your quarry is algae clinging stubbornly to the rocks. To harvest it, you wield one of the most remarkable tools in the marine world. Aristotle's lantern. This 5-part jaw structure, hidden beneath your body, is armed with sharp, chisel-like teeth that scrape and grind. With steady determination, you press against the rock, gnawing at patches of algae until flakes break free. The sensation of eating is both strange and thrilling. No longer do you filter drifting algae with delicate cilia, now use power. Each bite scrapes away tiny pieces of seaweed, which pass into your digestive tract. Your stomach is simple yet efficient, coiling inside your body to extract every bit of nutrition. Carbohydrates provide quick energy, proteins repair your tissues, and calcium strengthens the spines you continue to grow. At first you are clumsy, your teeth slipping awkwardly against the stone. Some patches of algae are too tough, and you abandon them in frustration. But persistence pays off. Soon you discover softer spots, where young green filaments yield easily. As you chew, you feel your strength rising. Other creatures notice you. Small crabs and fish occasionally glance your way, testing if you might be edible. Your spines bristle instinctively, a forest of sharp warnings. Most decide the risk is not worth it. Those spines are more than decoration. They are deterrents, weapons that grow sharper with every nutrient you consume. Your first successful meal anchors you. For the first time, you are not drifting but claiming a patch of seabed as your own. The taste of algae is not glamorous, but it fuels the life that will carry you forward. You grow rapidly, and with growth comes transformation. The once fragile shell of your larval self is long gone, replaced by a sturdy test, the rigid skeleton that gives your round body its shape. This test is made of fused plates of calcium carbonate, interlocked so tightly that predators cannot easily pry them apart. Each plate supports the base of a spine, and those spines lengthen steadily as you feed. Some are thick, built for defense, while others are more delicate, useful for subtle movements. At first, you wobble awkwardly across the rocky surface, relying on tube feet that extend from tiny pores in your chest. Each foot is tipped with a suction pad, allowing you to grip stone, algae, and even vertical walls. Soon, however, you master this art of locomotion. With hundreds of tube feet working in coordination, you glide over the seabed with surprising grace for such a prickly orb. Your senses sharpen as well. Though you have no eyes in the traditional sense, light-sensitive cells embedded in your skin allow you to detect shifts in brightness. In a way, your entire body acts as one enormous compound eye. You can sense shadows overhead, warning you of predators, and you instinctively move into crevices when danger looms. Predators are a constant reminder of your vulnerability. Wrasses, triggerfish, and sea otters occasionally test your defenses. When their jaws or paws probe too close, your spines jab outward. Some predators still succeed, cracking open your kind like spiky shells, but you hope your growing armor will keep you safe. Your internal changes are equally remarkable. Aristotle's lantern continues to develop, sharpening its teeth as they grow. These teeth wear down with use, but they are replaced continuously, ensuring you always have a functioning set of chisels to scrape algae. Your digestive system becomes more efficient, squeezing every drop of nutrition from your meals to fuel your rapid growth. Curiosity mixes with instinct. You sense your body adapting, reshaping, becoming stronger. The awkward juvenile stage is fading, and you are stepping slowly and spikily into the perilous but powerful stage of adulthood. Then comes hardship. The once green rocks that fed you turn barren. Grazed clean by you and your neighbors, they now hold only patches of tough leathery algae too difficult for your teeth to scrape. Hunger settles in, annoying emptiness that slows your movements and weakens your spines. Your metabolism adapts, slowing to conserve energy. Each scrape of Aristotle's lantern feels heavier, each step of your tube feet sluggish. Your body shifts into survival mode, relying on stored reserves of energy. The ocean offers no sympathy, only a test of endurance. Worse still, you feel the invasion of a parasite. A small worm burrows between your plates, nibbling at your tissues. Your immune cells rally, flooding the site with defense, sealing off the intruder with layers of hardened material. It is a painful reminder that danger does not always come from outside claws and teeth, but from hidden invaders. For days you cling to the rocks waiting. Some of your kin perish, their emptied shells left behind as hollow reminders of fragility. But luck and patience serve you. A shift in the current delivers new growth of algae, a soft green carpet spreading across the rocks. Weak but alive, you resume feeding, chewing slowly at first, then with renewed vigor. This crisis teaches you the harsh arithmetic of the sea. Survival is often less about strength and more about enduring the lean times. You are scarred but alive, and that is enough to carry you forward. By the time you reach adulthood, your body is a formidable fortress. Your chest is thickened, your spines are long and sharp, and your tube feet move with efficient coordination. At the center of your underbelly, Aristotle's lantern gleams like a hidden weapon, its teeth tirelessly scraping the rocks clean. You are no longer a fragile drifter, but a powerful grazer, capable of shaping entire ecosystems by the way you consume algae. Adulthood brings more than physical strength. It awakens urges that have slept within you since birth. The call to reproduce hums in your tissues, triggered by seasonal changes in temperature and the waxing of the moon. Yet reproduction is no simple matter. The seabed grows crowded, and rival urchins press close, competing for space and resources. Territorial skirmishes erupt. You are not a fighter in the way a crab or octopus is, but you have strategies. You extend your spines and nudge against rivals, pushing them aside in slow-motion duels. Sometimes you even employ pedicelaria, tiny claw-like structures scattered among your spines to nip at intruders. The battles are rarely fatal, but they determine who controls the prime feeding and spawning grounds. Predators sense your vulnerability during these contests. A triggerfish hovers above, waiting for distraction. You bristle your spines in warning, forcing it to think twice. Defense is a full-time job, even as you prepare for reproduction. When the time is right, you gather with countless others, forming dense clusters along the reef. Reproduction for you is a grand broadcast, a synchronized release of gametes into the water. Males and females alike expel clouds of sperm and eggs, letting currents mix them in the open sea. The risk is immense, for many gametes are eaten or drift away unfulfilled. Yet the sheer numbers ensure that some will succeed. You feel the surge within you, the release of potential into the ocean. It is less an act of intimacy than of overwhelming abundance, a gamble written into your very biology. You are now fully adult, part of the great, spiny chorus of the reef, each of you carrying the cycle of life forward. When spawning season arrives, the reef transforms into a grand festival of fertility. The currents swell with clouds of eggs and sperm, turning the water into a shimmering haze of possibility. You are part of this synchronized release, your body expelling gametes in rhythm with countless others around you. The lunar cycle often guides this ritual, the full moon serving as a signal that the time has come. Unlike many creatures, you offer no direct care to your offspring. Once your eggs are cast into the current, they are on their own, left to drift as you once did. This may seem heartless, but it is a strategy perfected by millions of years. Safety lies not in guarding a few, but in releasing millions, overwhelming predators with sheer abundance. The sacrifice of numbers ensures that at least some will survive to carry your lineage forward. Still, there is a kind of emotional echo in the process. As you release your contribution, you remember, though not in thoughts as humans know them, the fragility of your own beginning. You sense the continuity, the endless recycling of energy and form. The larvae that hatch from these eggs will look nothing like you at first. They will drift as tiny, transparent wanderers, each carrying the potential to harden into a spiny fortress just as you did. Your role now is to survive long enough to repeat the process. Each spawning season adds to the ocean's chorus of life, ensuring that sea urchins remain a vital part of the reef. Though you do not guard your offspring, you shape their world by grazing the algae that would otherwise smother corals. In feeding yourself, you protect the reef, and in spawning, you populate it anew. The years pass, and your spines grow worn from constant battles with rocks, waves, and predators. Yet you remain a steadfast presence on the seabed, grazing, scraping, and defending your patch of reef. You have seen many neighbors fall, their hollow shells scattered like ghostly reminders of the ocean's indifference. Still, you endure, fueled by the same instinct that carried you from a drifting larva to a fully armored adult. One day, as the tide lowers and sunlight filters through the shallow water, you release another cloud of gametes into the sea. Around you, hundreds of others do the same. The water dances with potential, each microscopic egg a fragile spark waiting to ignite into life. You know, in the way your kind understands that you are part of something larger, the cycle does not belong to you alone. It belongs to the reef, the sea, and the endless generations of spiny wanderers who came before and will come after. Eventually, your strength wanes. A predator may finally succeed, or your body may simply falter, leaving your test behind as a hollow relic. Yet even in death, you contribute calcium back to the ecosystem, your shell dissolving to feed new growth. The cycle repeats. From egg to larva, from drifting plankton to spiny grazer, the story of the sea urchin continues. And if you could reflect in words, perhaps you would say, life may be prickly, but it is always worth clinging to the rock for one more tide.